Galatasaray returned to Champions League competition on Tuesday, with Liverpool coming to Istanbul, hopefully to get their whooping. Serkan, what do you think our chances are Tuesday when Liverpool comes back to Istanbul?
I'm going to be realistic 20%, but before getting into the game preview, regardless of the result, we win, we lose, I don't care. We should acknowledge that Galatasaray has had a successful Champions League year. I always tell my friends that maybe 5 years from today or 6 years from today, we're going to look back at the 2025-2026 Champions League season and realize that we were actually quite good. Being among the top 16 teams in Europe is a privilege. It's a success. It's an achievement that we should be proud of. Here, we often talk about the game and the transfers that we make and some other details. But after a certain point, those discussions become secondary because in football, results matter more than the reasons and the causes. I remember that during 2016-2017 football season, I was missing our success that we had in the Champions League in the 2022 to 2012, 2013 Champions League. And my suggestion to new generation, new Gala fans is just enjoy who we are and what we have right now, because today may not be, tomorrow may not be as same as today.
It's true. Nothing is guaranteed, but I can't believe that I kind of disagree with you because I think it's time. This is the team. If we want to redefine who we are, this is the time. This is the time to establish ourselves as the brand. We have Osaman now. We're not guaranteed he'll be here next season. The team is good now. Noah Lang's on loan now. Abdul Karim and Sanchez, they're fit and healthy now. Sacha Boey's back now. Liverpool. This is not a Liverpool of great teams of yonder years. This Liverpool is sixth in the EPL. They're not even going to Europe at this point right now. This is a Liverpool team that's loses a game, wins a game, draws a game, wins a game. So we're not facing like what we played with Man City. We're not playing the second best team in England. We're playing the sixth best team in England. Like we said in the video when they announced it, they've lost a record amount of games this year, giving up a late goal, 9. That's a lot. That shows lack of concentration. Mo Salah's not what he used to be. I'll take Osimhen over, what is his name? Florian Wirtz? This guy?
Yeah.
This guy? Who's this guy? Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I'll take Osimhen over him any day of the week. I'll take Okan Hoja over Liverpool's coach, Arne Slot, any day of the week. So I think we're in position that we're playing a brand. This is what we wanted. We wanted to play a brand in this round who is not what they used to be, right? Juventus isn't what they used to be, but they're still a brand. So we get credit for playing that brand. Sadly, that's how it is in football. They don't care about who the players are today. All they want is the brands. They want the brands in the Champions League. And so Liverpool is for sure a brand. So we've got a brand, but this isn't the best version of that brand that they've had. And so I think we should I know we want to, but I would be disappointed if we don't at least get a point or better in Istanbul, because we beat them in Istanbul with a worse version of this team than we have now. We're a better version. We should be a more confident version after taking care of Juventus. And so I'm going to say I'll be disappointed if we don't win on Tuesday.
That's right. But when was the last time that we qualified for round 16? It was about 13 years ago, right? So this is not something that we keep repeating like every 2 years, every 3 years. So what I'm trying to say is that we should be happy for what we have right now.
No,
And if
so I'm not going to be happy to stay on the same level that we've been on for the past 20 years. I want to
con-
see Galatasaray grow. I want to see us
so
elevate,
I
right?
know, but my definition of growth is the consistency. I want the same success next year. I want the exact same success next year and the year after that. That's my
Again,
definition of growth.
if we were playing Arsenal this round, I might be more like you. I'm happy we got here, but we're not playing Arsenal. We're playing Liverpool. We're not playing PSG this round. That'd be the next round. We're not playing some all-time great team with stars all over that we know like the back of their hand. Your average football fan can't name you 3 or 4 players off this Liverpool team. They know Van Dijk. He's like the most famous guy they have right now. And Salah, who doesn't even start half the time. So again, that's what I'm saying. We have a chance to elevate our brand this round. They're already talking about Galatasaray a lot. If we can get past this round, imagine how they talk about Galatasaray more. And you're saying you want consistency? So do I. Playing in the round of 16 puts more players' eyes on us too, not just fans. Round of 8, even better. That's going to make the sales pitch even more. Come here. We were in the last 8 of the Champions League last year. That sales pitch is better than the last 16. Do I think it's going to be easy to beat Liverpool? No. It took a Osimhen penalty the last time we played them. But again, we have more Champions League experience. We've had a better season than they have. They've faced way more criticism in England for where they are. They're 6, whereas we're leading our league. We didn't lose in the Turkish Cup to the last place team in the league like they lost theirs. We haven't lost to Fatih Karagümrük like they did to Wolverhampton last week, right? And so there's a lot of markings and things you can look at Liverpool to show, yes, they are beatable.
As you just said, Liverpool is a brand. Liverpool is worth 3 times of what we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is going to be an easy game. What I'm trying to say is that, hey, if we beat Liverpool on Tuesday, that's a plus, that's a bonus. But if we don't, that's not the end of the day. I think we had a great run in the Champions League. That's what I'm trying to say. And we should be happy about it.
I, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I don't know. We had a great run. We lost a lot of games in qualifying we shouldn't have lost. we should have we should have finished about 8th in the Champions League qualifying round. If you want to be honest with,
But again, all this
if you really want
discussion
to break it
comes
down,
secondary. Forget about the games that we lost. We're in the first 16. That's all it matters.
we are, and so I think that Okan's going to have a plan. He can look at both those Juventus games and see what worked and what didn't. We know what didn't for sure. And so I think he's going to have a plan. We're healthy. All these players have played Champions League now. I really do feel almost going out against Juventus helped them. And what you're saying, your point, I think is really going to help them. There's tons of people saying the exact same thing you're saying. They're going to feel like they're playing with house money, right? It's
Right.
one thing to go gamble with your money. It's more fun to gamble with somebody else's. Who cares if you lose it? It's
Sure.
not yours.
Yeah.
And so we have nothing to lose at this point. we've already isn't this we've never been past the round of 16, right? So this ties for the best Galatasaray has ever done. So nobody's going to be mad at them for going out. Now if they lose like terribly, they will, but nobody's going to be mad at them for going out. They've already had success, and so I feel like we're going to be out there a little bit more carefree, able to play the style we want and have fun. Now Liverpool, on the other hand, as I said, right now they're not even in a European qualifying spot in the Champions League, and their form is not good. So there's nothing, you can't look at Liverpool and go, oh, yeah, they're for sure going to move up to fourth. They might not. And so I think they're out of aren't they out of their cup already?
I believe so, yes.
So they're out of the cup. They're not in Europe right now. Pretty much all Arne Slot and Liverpool have going for them is the Champions League. So to me, that puts a lot more pressure on them to succeed. And we've already seen what they're doing, right? Banning our fans from the return leg for God knows what. I haven't seen anybody else's fans getting banned from going on the road, but ours do.
It's
So
just us.
that tells me they're already worried about losing in Istanbul if they're already pulling that out this early. So if they come in and we keep it scoreless for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and God help us if we get a goal, they are going to start, I think they're going to lose themselves. The attack they'll start doing because of the pressure. They know they can't go back to England down like more than 2 goals.
I'm more worried about the second leg.
Well, of course, we all are. But again, we played as bad as you could play away at Juventus, but we played so well at home, it didn't matter.
Because that's our reference point. The Juventus game that we play in Italy, that's our reference point.
Oh, not just that one. I know Man City's good, but do you think if we played Man City in Istanbul at Rams Park, we'd have lost to them 3-0 the way we did in England? I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
So, yeah, as we're growing as a team, I'm hoping that now you've been away to Man City and you saw what happened if you're not locked in. You went to Juventus, you saw what happened if you don't have the right game plan, right? If we can get a result in Istanbul, they showed against Besiktas on Saturday that Okan and the players are able to learn. We didn't play like we did against Gaziantep and against Fenerbahce before the Athletic game Saturday. We played really good Saturday. So they focused on what was in front of them. So that's a change. That's a improvement in the team, which I really like. And so if they're able to mature in that area, they should be able to do the same thing when they go on the road to Anfield.
Well, you and I have different views on this, but I'm not going to disagree with what you just said. All I'm saying is that we've been good in the Champions League. We did what we could do, and if we eliminate Liverpool, that will be a plus. If we don't, that's not the end of the day.
Well, it's
That's
not the end of the world, but what I think
I won't be disappointed. I won't be disappointed just because Liverpool beats us.
I'll be disappointed right away. I'll get over it. But again, we didn't get a world beater of a draw, right? We're not Bodo Glint playing Bayern Munich, right?
To me, that will be a motivation for the Super League. I will say, let's just repeat this again, guys. Let's win the Turkish Super League title and repeat this success next year in 2026, 2027 Champions League season. That will be my motivation.
I understand, but sometimes at some point, we've got to take the next step.
We already did.
Oh no, we've been here several times before.
There's a huge gap from 2013 to 2026, and we had nothing in that 10-year period, but nothing, no success at all.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. if you only get here every 13 years, you better make hay while you're here. And so we're here.
I don't want like periodic successes.
Let's
I
keep
want
on winning.
I
Let's
want
keep
repe
on
I
winning.
want repetition. I want consistency.
Oh, so do I. But I would like this season to end somewhere in the final 8 and beyond, and repeat that next year instead of just a 16.
Well,
So
hopefully.
so you're sounding like you don't think we'll progress.
I don't think we'll progress, no.
Well, you didn't think we're going to beat Besiktas either.
Did I say that?
You did. You said it's going to be a draw.
Well, maybe I did, but this is a whole different platform. We're talking about the Champions League.
I know. We got this far. Who says why can't we go farther? And Liverpool, I know I'm beating a dead horse. There's way worse draws that we could have got besides Liverpool.
As you just said, there's no pressure on the team.
Right.
So that's a positive
That's
sign.
right. I mean, look around. PSG, they're in the final 16. They lead League 1, right?
Right.
Bayern, they're in the Champions League. They lead the Arsenal. They lead their league, right? So we didn't draw one of these people. We lead our league. We lead our league, and we're playing the 6th place team from England. We said this against Juventus, right?
Right.
Shouldn't the champion of Turkey be able to beat the 4th best team from Italy, which is what they are? And we did. So we're going to ask the same question again this round. Shouldn't the champion of Turkey be able to beat the 6th place English team?
I don't think those two leagues are in the same level, though.
They're not. That's why for Italy, it was the 4th place, but in England, it's the 6th place. Because I mean, you look at the standings. There's only 2 good teams in England. It's Arsenal and Man City. After that, there's a drop off.
My friend, I think you're underestimating Liverpool here.
Maybe I am.
You know how much money they spend in the transfer window? A lot of money. I don't
Right.
even know the amount, but it's a lot of money.
Right. I saw Chelsea spend more than anybody else 2 or 3 seasons ago, and they bought all the wrong players and they were god awful.
Right.
And so just because you spend money doesn't mean you're spending it the right way. I'll take the money that we spend on our keeper and that we spend on our striker all day long. Those are good investments.
Well, hopefully we'll progress, but I don't see any lights in the end of the tunnel.
So my man in the black shirt sees no light. And the man in the red shirt, he sees a way forward. He does. I see a way forward. I will. I'll get over. I'll be sad if we don't go through because I think we can. I really do. I really do.
Hopefully.
Because you've heard them. You've heard them. Even one of their players or their coach. Oh, it took a penalty to beat us last time. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the way a lot of games go. A lot of games are won on a penalty. I didn't see you get the penalty. And then the commentators are just dismissing us. You say the word Liverpool, and all the betting sites hear Liverpool, they just give them a goal right away because their name's Liverpool. Their XG is already won because they're Liverpool. Doesn't matter what form they're in this year, they're Liverpool. And that's fine because this is not your father's Liverpool. It just is not. So the game's Tuesday. It's in Istanbul. I think we're going to win, maybe by a couple goals.
What is your prediction?
I think we're going to win 3-1.
I'm not going to say what I think.
Momentum is a real thing. It's a real thing. And we have momentum right now, and Liverpool does not. It's good to have confidence going into a game. And I think we have it. And I think them coming back to where they lost and how their recent form has been, I think they're going to have doubt in the back of their mind. And if anything can go wrong, I think it's just going to cascade.
But they're going to try their 100% because winning the Champions League may be the only option for them to go to the Champions League next year.
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
was Tottenham, that would have been a different story. Tottenham is trying to get away from the relegation zone.
Mhm.
So Tottenham will prioritize the Premier League over the Champions League.
Oh,
But
see
it is
see, I think we would have lost to Tottenham.
um I don't think so. I would have said completely something different if we were talking about Galatasaray versus Tottenham, but I'm gonna disagree with that.
Our players read these too much. If we play Tottenham, they've been like, "Oh, everybody says we're gonna beat Tottenham. Oh, we're gonna beat Tottenham." And they win the game like that. None nothing on these phones is saying they're gonna beat Liverpool. So they're preparing to play to the best of their ability, and
Yeah,
that's
we're
what
the
it's gonna take.
underdogs here.
That's what it's gonna take. And we play great like that. That's when we
Yep.
play our best. We play great as underdogs. We do. So let's see what's going to happen. The game is tomorrow, so we'll be back after the game with our reaction episode, and hopefully it's going to be lots and lots of fun. Right, Serkan?
Yeah, we'll see.
That's right. So, howdy Jim Bum. Howdy Jim Bum.